So the Democratic debate, I was just laughing out loud the whole time at how ridiculous it was. And I'm not saying this to be mean or to be cool or to be funny. I was literally laughing out loud at numerous times throughout this debate. Like, where do I even begin with how ridiculous this was? Like, first off, the fact that they were talking Spanish, some of these candidates, it started with Beto O'Rourke. He just started speaking Spanish for no reason. Like, why would he speak Spanish? Oh, crap. Like, imagine his mentality. Like, yeah, imagine Beto O'Rourke's mentality. Like, he has to think, on some level, that speaking Spanish in a national debate gives him some sort of edge over other candidates. As if there are people, American voters at home, who are thinking to themselves, you know, I like some of these candidates, but I really want someone who's bilingual. I really like Bernie Sanders. I kind of like Elizabeth Warren, but I wish they spoke more languages. There's no one that thinks that at all. And then, of course, after Beto O'Rourke does it, Cory Booker started doing it. Cory Booker started speaking Spanish. Boom. And then Juan Castro started speaking Spanish at some point. And look, I have nothing against the Spanish language. I have nothing against people who speak Spanish. But the amount of pandering is just... It was just funny. And I have to imagine that not only are these people dumb, these candidates, but they think you're dumb. Because they honestly think that you're just sitting there at home, and they think that being able to speak Spanish on national television is going to give them some kind of edge. They think that the American people, the American voters, are so fickle and irrational that that being bilingual is going to be a deal breaker for them. Which, in all fairness, a lot of American voters are fickle and irrational, but I don't think they're that fickle and irrational to the point where they're just watching the debate at home and saying, "Oh well, Beto O'Rourke, he said that thing in Spanish. I really like him now." Come on. So not only that, Beto O'Rourke is saying the same thing. At least I think he's saying the same thing in two different languages, which is a total waste of time. Meanwhile, you have all these knuckleheads like Jay Inslee and John Delaney and Bill de Blasio begging for stage time and more speaking time every time the moderators send it to commercial. That happened like 3 or 4 times. Like the moderators would try to send it to commercial, and then the Jay Inslee or Bill de Blasio would be like, "Hey, pick on me. I have something to say." No. They're like these screeching children in a 4th grade classroom, thinking they have the answer to the question. Pick on me, please. Give me more speaking time. Beto O'Rourke took much time speaking Spanish, saying the same crap in 2 different languages. I need more speaking time. It's my turn to speak. Just hilarious. Every time they threw it to commercial, I was laughing because it was just funny. And what else? They spent like 5 minutes talking about abortion, as if that's like a controversial issue in the Democratic Party. Like, I'm sure there are some Democrats like in the South or whatever who might be on the fence about abortion or might vote against abortion to appease their anti-abortion constituents. I'm sure there are Democrats like that who exist. I think they're called Blue Dog Democrats. But there are no Democrats that are running for... It would be impossible for a Democrat to win a presidential election if they were not in favor of legalized abortion. This is not a controversial issue within the Democratic Party. or at least when it comes to the presidential race. And there are a lot of controversial issues, like whether or not to go all in on socialism, whether or not to embrace the term socialism, whether or not, exactly how high should the tax rate be, how exactly to deal with climate change. Foreign policy, that's somewhat of a controversial issue in the Democratic Party. The point is that the abortion issue is not an issue. And the fact that they spent 5 minutes talking about it at this debate, again, it's just funny to me. And then the microphone issue happened, the audio issue happened, which made it just more of a train wreck. Like, everything that could have went wrong just went wrong in that debate. And I don't know whose fault it is, really. I actually felt bad for the moderators. These moderators who had to deal with all these screeching children complaining about how they're not getting enough talking time. And then the audio issue was happening. Like, if that were me, if I were Chuck Todd, or if I were Rachel Maddow, or who else was there? Lou Holt, Lester Holt, whatever his name is. Doesn't matter what his name is. But, like, if they went out and got blitzed after that debate, I would not fault them at all. I would definitely need a beer or two after that train wreck. But, yeah, whose fault is it? And I have to imagine the fault lies with all these knuckleheads like Jay Inslee and Juan Castro and Beto O'Rourke, who really have no chance at winning. Forget about the presidential election. They have no chance at winning this Democratic primary. Like, what are they doing? They're just wasting everyone's time, including their own time. But let's be real here. There are probably 3 candidates in this Democratic race who have a shot at winning the nomination. You could probably make an argument for 6. So the top 3 in some order are Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. And then after that, you can make a case for Buttigieg just because his poll numbers are up. You can make a case for Cory Booker. I don't think he has a chance in this race, but I think in a clear field, if circumstances were perfect, if circumstances were perfect, I think Cory Booker could win a presidential election. I don't think this is going to be it, though. And I would say Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris could make, I think she's done, but I think she could make a comeback because California is early in this election cycle. It's early in the Democratic primary. So if Kamala Harris were able to crush California, and even this year I don't think she is, if she were able to just crush California, her home state, I think she could grab some headlines and make a name for herself and pull herself back in. But I don't think that's going to happen. But it's possible. But maybe Andrew Yang could make a name for himself tonight. But yeah, other than that, Tulsi Gabbard does not have a chance. Sorry, I know a lot of people love Tulsi Gabbard. But Tulsi Gabbard is not going to be the president. Watch me be wrong. Watch her win the election. And this is going to be part of some montage. Yeah, a lot of people love Tulsi Gabbard. They think she's wonderful. A lot of people say that Tulsi Gabbard is the Ron Paul of this current Democratic Party, and I think that's a fair comparison because both their foreign policies are pretty anti-American, and they both have cult followings of loud supporters, loud sycophantic supporters, and they really have no chance at winning the presidential election. So yeah, I would say Tulsi Gabbard and Ron Paul are pretty similar in those respects. But she's not going to be the president. Sorry. Not buying it. But yeah, I think that was the main problem in this debate was you just had too many people there, and most of whom had no business being there. Beto O'Rourke's not going to win. He had his chance. He had some media buzz for a while, but he's clearly just a politician who lacks any charisma or personality whatsoever. But hey, he can speak Spanish. That's really going to make the difference.